This is the Born of Levi experience on G.O.C.C. Media.
Yes, yes, yes. What's going on, family? What's going on, family? Welcome again to another installment of the Born of Levi experience here on G.O.C.C. Media. I am your host, Deacon Hazak, and we here for another installment. How is everybody doing in the room tonight, or this evening, I should say? Oh, man, we in for a great show, man. Thank you guys for coming in, man. And do me a favor, hit that like button on your way in. Right? Hit that like button. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Right? Hit the bell as well. We're going to get started, man. I'm so excited for this broadcast. I'm so excited for the guests that we have for tonight, man. You guys are in for a treat. Y'all see the title already, Overcoming This World. And like we do it every week, brothers and sisters, if I'm coming in nice and clear, please put them qualms in the chat. If I'm coming in nice and clear, brothers and sisters, I need to see them qualms in the chat. Please do me that favor. All right. That's what I like to see. I had somebody actually this Shabbat ask me, brother, you keep saying drop a qualm in the chat. What is qualm? I had to explain to the sister, right? QAM, which means qualm which is qualm in Hebrew, which actually means to rise. So, some people say, give me a thumbs up, put a 1 in the chat. I'm starting my own thing. Put a qualm in the chat if I'm coming in nice and clear. How about that? So we're going to get started with today's show. But before we get started, I want to start it off with a song. Oh, man, it's a freestyle that I seen on one of the brothers' page, right? Righteous Bars. These brothers, man, they doing a work, man. So I want to play a freestyle, and you'll be able to find their music streaming on SoundCloud. Just type in Righteous Bars. Instead of a S at the end of the R, it's a Z. So Righteous Bars with a Z, right? So this freestyle, it was nice. So I'm gonna play it, and then we're gonna get the show started.
It's righteous. Righteous
This is the Born of Levi experience on G.O.C.C. Media.
All right. Let me run it back. I gotta run it back.
It's righteous. Righteous bars. I remember them times, but I repented from time. Hey.
Yo, the Casamata, hey.
Let me rap. Hey. Had to put off my X-Man to weather the storm. In the belly of the beast, you get trapped and you torn. Went rogue on the world, now I'm feeling reborn. Streets ill, you be sick if you seen what I saw. Realized that we cursed, started keeping them laws. It was nights I couldn't walk, so I literally crawled on my knees just to pray and talk to the Lord. I need your love, I need your hand. Remember fighting the flesh, like this gotta stop. My partners want me to slide, do I jug or not? Now I'm dealing with pride, that's what he wanna sock. Professor Xavier, I sat and thought. Got in the word, started to read. The devil getting mad, not liking what he see. He throwing jabs, try to connect. I bob and weave. He catch me with his claws, I can't heal. Wolverine, see true indeed. My past kinda shaky. I've been through it all, just praying that you take me into your zone with arms. Cause that's safety, not mad at my past at all. That's what made me. See, I remember them times. Yeah, but I repented from times. Swear I repented from times.
Yo, that was a freestyle titled X-Man. It's titled X-Man, like basically the old man. And I had to play it because it's so fitting for tonight's broadcast titled Overcoming the World, right? We got an interview with our brother, Rafael Bush, coming up shortly. But continue to hit that like button, share this content. You don't want to miss out, man, because there's so much information that's going to come out in this broadcast and so much insight that all of us, young and old, will be able to draw from and will be able to, to take in and reassess our lives, our walks, right? And listen, man, it don't get no better than this, right? So praise the Most High. And yes, you can find Righteous Bars music streaming on, I believe only on SoundCloud, if I could be mistaken. But SoundCloud is where you'll find the majority of their music. So go and check their stuff out. Beautiful music. And that freestyle was titled X-Man. Oh, man. And brothers and sisters, I hope you guys are having a good time. And I don't want to waste your time, right? But we're going to have to start the show, right? Once again, I want to do a quick announcement real quick. The Hebrew and Bible Academy started already October 1st, but it's not too late, brothers and sisters, to enroll, right, to the Hebrew and Bible Academy. I believe we're going into week 7 or 8, I believe. So visit historytimes.org, right? Spiritual boot camp. That's the theme of this year's of this installment of the Hebrew and Bible Academy. So do yourself a favor and go and enroll, brothers and sisters. So without any further ado, right? We're definitely going to start the show. Let me make sure my guest is ready. Okay. All right, see my guest. All right. So yeah, brothers and sisters, like I said, this particular broadcast, I pray and I believe that it's gonna open up a lot of eyes to a lot of people who may be dabbling in the world or trying to have one foot in, one foot out, or maybe this may fall upon somebody who's actually in the world right now and they can't find a way out. This particular broadcast is supposed to help and inspire those to choose between light and dark, right? That's the thing. That's what they don't tell us about in this world. It's only two forces in this world: good and evil, light and dark. By default, if you don't choose the light, you're walking in darkness, right? So hopefully this particular broadcast, it inspires and it encourages two things for those who's following Christ and who's in this walk to continue to walk this same path, and two, those who are not in this walk to be able to make a righteous choice. Forget about everything that you see. Forget about what you're seeing on TV. Forget about what you're seeing on the news, on Instagram. None of those things matter, because at the end of the day, what it boils down to is, at the end, you standing in front of the Creator and you having to explain your life, right? So we want to make sure that people have a fair chance, because the world is not going to give you that fair chance. They're not going to tell you, hey, look, this is what's on the table. You could choose this path, or you could also choose this. But they're not going to tell you that the path that they're giving you to choose is leading you straight to hell. Right? So now, without any further ado, I keep saying that. I keep forgetting to plug in a drum roll, but I don't have a drum roll. But we're going to introduce my brother, your brother, right? Rafael Bush. Shalom, shalom. What's going on, brother?
Shalom, family. How you doing? Shalom, D. How you doing, my brother?
Everything is well. Everything is blessed. You know how we say it, we're all blessed by the best, and his name is Ahaya.
His name is Ahaya.
Con. Praise the Most High. Put the volume up. All right, you should be good here. All right. Yeah, my brother, what's going on with you, man?
Hey, man, no complaints on this end. I'm alive. I'm well. My
Con.
family's healthy. What is there to complain about? Another day of life. The Most High gave me breath of
Con.
life. So I have no complaints on this end. How about you, my brother?
Listen, man, you said it best. But we could complain, but who wants to hear our complaints? And matter of fact, the Most High actually frowns upon complaints. He don't like complaining. So it's best to be grateful for what you have and what you don't have, and just be content with everything that He has put a place on our path. But I'm doing blessed, man. I had a long day, long week, but it's ending soon. We heading into the Shabbat, so praise the Most High for that. But now, without any further ado, I'm not gonna keep everybody anticipating. So, my brother Rafael Bush, I did some research on you, man. You went to the College of South Carolina State, right? That's where you went.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you played all 4 years there.
Uh, I actually went to a Christian school my freshman year.
Okay.
Ended up transferring to South Carolina State and finished out my 4 years there.
Okay. All right. Well, it says here that you was drafted. You was an undrafted free agent by the Falcons, right? Atlanta Falcons. Then you also played for the Broncos, the Lions, the Saints, and then I think you finished off your career with the Bills, right?
Con.
An 8-year career in the NFL, and that's not something to wink at. Like 8 years, that's a long time in the NFL. You understand? So that you had a great career with the NFL. So you went from college football, NFL, to Gathering of Christ Church. How does that work?
Man, to try to quantify everything, I won't take as much time.
Now listen, brother, take as much time as you want. We got to paint the picture for our brothers and sisters.
Con. So just being undrafted in itself is a very big challenge. And coming from an HBCU, a historical Black college, makes it even that much of a challenge. So for me, my first couple of years was a culture shock. This is something that I dreamed of since I was a young kid.
Right.
When you finally get the opportunity, it's like there's only 1% that actually makes it to the highest level. There's only 1%.
So so you said there's only 1% that actually makes it to the highest level?
Statistically, Con.
Wow, bro. And here it is. You made it to that level. Undrafted free agent.
Con.
Wow. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
And so you have so many athletes, whether it's basketball, baseball, whatever sport, the percentage, and like the scripture says, only a remnant, right? Mm-hmm. So it's no different even in that world, even though it's carnal, but there is some parallels.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of attention to detail. There's a lot of discipline. There's a lot of sacrifice that you have to make. And even when making those sacrifices, you still have a slim chance. So for me, it was a real culture shock because I'm coming from a historical Black college. I'm waiting for my name to get called. And my name gets called after the draft, right?
Okay.
And
so were you at the draft, or this was like you was taking place at home or something like that?
No, I was actually at at the family house back home, and we were all watching the draft together.
Okay.
Now I know that I wasn't going to be taken very high, but I did have a really good chance of at least getting drafted. So it was about the 6th round. The Falcons had a pick, and they picked a safety that actually played the same position that I played. And so they called me after they made the pick, and they said, "We want you to be a part of our team." And so I was like, okay. And so, once I found out where I was going, now the real world begins, because life, right? Learning how to be a man on the fly.
And how old were you around this time?
I'm 22 years old. I'm 22 years old.
22 years old, getting drafted into the NFL. Baby, that's baby age for us right now. We, looking back at that, 22 years old. Okay, go ahead.
And I come from a very, very, very small town. We're talking 3,000 people, 2 stoplights, a Hardee's, and 2 grocery stores. So
what town was this?
It's Williston, South Carolina. It's a very small town, not too far from Augusta, Georgia.
Okay.
And so dirt roads, woods,
farms.
And so imagine being a young man, actually. Now I'm learning, now I got to go into an entire different environment. Atlanta, Georgia. I've never really been to a big city in my life. The biggest city that I've been to actually was Augusta, Georgia.
Right.
So even that in itself was a culture shock for me. So I get there and it was real hard for me. It was the learning curve was vast. And I struggled my first 2 years because the knowledge and the understanding of NFL football was difficult for me. I knew how to play, but I couldn't grasp what was being thrown at me. And I also understood very quick that being undrafted and being from a historical Black college, I can't make mistakes.
So it's a lot of pressure to basically overperform.
Exactly.
Okay.
It was a lot of pressure for me because, and a lot of this pressure I put on myself because if I don't make this, then it's back to Williston, South Carolina for me because I didn't have any other backup plan.
Right.
This was it. This was all the eggs in one basket. So for me, it was tough because I knew that I couldn't mess up. I didn't have the luxury of the guys that were drafted that could make mistakes.
Right.
And so that alone was very stressful for me. But through the grace of the Most High, I was able to figure it out and I didn't make the team actually my first year.
Okay.
I got cut. My rookie year, I got cut and they have what you call a practice squad, right? So practice squad is basically you show up to work, you give the offense, you give the defense a look, and they pay you a couple $100 and you get to stand on the sidelines of the home games.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, it's better than, not being part of the team, but, something, right?
Kind of. And it was good for me because I needed that to understand how things were being run, how to have a routine, how to be organized, look up to certain type vets, just to pick their brain. I wasn't really ready my first year, so I needed that year to figure things out. So, my second year comes around, still trying to figure it out, but I'm more confident. I'm more confident than I was my first year. And they put me on the practice squad again. And the thing about that whole entire experience is imagine you have 90 people on the team. That 90 gets cut down to 75. That 75 cuts down to 53. So you only have 53 people that actually makes a team.
Out of 90.
Out of 90. And so, again, I put this stress on myself. So 47 of those spots is already taken.
So that leaves really, like six more positions to be filled.
You got 90 people fighting for 6 spots.
Wow.
Really?
That's crazy when you think about it.
It is. And a lot of guys, that's their only chance that they get. Imagine you building bonds with brothers that, y'all coming from different types of walks of life. You're building relationships and you look over beside you and he's gone. And so for me, that was very stressful. And they would sit by the door every day. Hey, let me get your playbook. Meet me upstairs. We all knew what that meant. We called him the Grim Reaper. So I got cut that time again. And I got put on the practice squad. And I actually got signed by the Broncos in the middle of the year. They picked me up off the practice squad. So now I moved from Atlanta, Georgia to Denver, Colorado.
So now it's now another culture shock.
Yes.
And let me ask you, at this time, did you ever have an agent?
Yes, I did have an agent. And the thing about the agent was, this is how the Most High worked. The agent that I signed with was actually coming to one of our games to see one of my teammates. And I just happened to have a great game. And my teammate didn't want to sign with my agent because he wasn't big time. And so my thing was, well, I don't need no big time agent because now I know he's going to be focusing on me. So I signed with him, and I thank the Most High for that, brother. He looked out for me. He was like an uncle to me. We had a real great relationship even to this day.
Wow.
Outside of business, I know his family, my family. He was actually at my when I got signed. He came to the family house, and he was a Gentile.
Wow.
Imagine being a Gentile around a bunch of us at a cookout.
Right. Exactly. Right.
But nonetheless, end up in Denver, Colorado, which is another culture shock. It's cold. It's snowing. The altitude is different.
Yeah, I know Denver is crazy cold.
It's very cold. But now I'm actually playing, so now I'm really starting to play. So we made the playoffs. We didn't do well, and then the following year, I got cut again.
Oh man!
And so what happened was, they tried to put me on the practice squad, and I ended up going to New Orleans. So now I'm going from Colorado to New Orleans, Louisiana. Another culture shock.
Right.
So when these things happen where you trade a cut, sign, and things of that nature, especially if you have a family, you got 2 or 3 days to pack your stuff up, go to the next city, stay in a hotel, figure it out, and then and all at the same time being focused on your job. So it's a lot. So a lot going on in it.
So basically, like when you don't get signed off the back or get drafted, you're basically in limbo. Like you don't know what the next day could bring for you.
Exactly. So me, every day that I went to work, I was like, man, I can actually go to work today and get fired. Imagine going to work every day thinking you're gonna get fired.
Yeah, that's crazy stressful.
Exactly. And I was putting a lot of stress on myself. I'm not blaming anybody. It was me overanalyzing, overthinking things, and just putting pressure on myself.
So let me ask you, because you went through this for 8 years, basically.
9 years, actually.
9 years. So now, when did you actually get married to your wife?
We got married 2013. We dated in college. She was my college girlfriend. We had our first child in 2012. And we got married 6 months after she was born.
Praise the Most High. So through that whole experience, your wife is and the baby is traveling with you from state to state. Sleeping in hotel rooms, trying to figure it out. Right? Okay, so through all of that and still having to keep a sane, a level head to play the game, worry about the family, is my job on the line, this and that. So in between all of that, right? Because I don't want to go too far ahead because I want you to still explain your story. I know a lot of people want to hear it too. I also want to hear the transitions from at what point in time did you realize, like, yo, this ain't it. This can't be life. You understand?
For me, it had to be going into my 8th year. It was going into my 8th year. I had some injuries that really haunted me, because one thing about the sport is you have a very small window and you have to strike while it's hot. And so everything was lining up, right? I'm starting to play. I'm starting to get noticed. My teammates trust me. My coaches trust me. Highlights. Going into my contract year, I signed a 2-year deal, and I'm in my prime now.
Right, yeah. This is your 8th year.
I'm starting to get it. This is like year 4 or 5. I'm starting to understand it.
Oh, okay.
And I broke my ankle. Broke my ankle.
Contract year.
I actually had signed a 2-year deal. The first year of that deal, I broke my ankle. So I missed half the season.
And those contracts are not guaranteed, right?
They can cut you whenever they want.
Whew. That's tough.
But the flip side of that is the coaches can get fired and you still have to pay the coaches.
Wait, what do you mean you got to pay the coaches?
So if a coach, the same way we get signed and we get paid and we have deals, it's the same for the coaches. But the only difference is if they cut a player, they don't have to pay them no more. If they fire or cut a coach, they still have to pay him.
Oh, that's the difference. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I broke my ankle, and I had to rehab and get back. So the following season is upcoming, right? These injuries, what they do is it was humbling for me because the Most High was sitting me down. I was like, man, broke my ankle. Why me, Lord? Why is this happening to me? I'm doing everything right. Show up to work every day. Never been fined, never been in trouble. I do everything they ask me to do. I work hard. How am I catching this bad luck?
Right.
And the following season, the first game of the year, after breaking my ankle, I tear my pectoral muscle.
And you just got back?
Just got back. So the 2-year deal that I just signed for, I never really played under it.
That's tough.
So now I'm like, okay, what's going to happen now? What like, okay, Father, like, dang, like, again, it was like getting this close, and then it was like the rug was being pulled from underneath my feet. Now, I didn't understand it at the time, but I do. Right now, I totally understand why. But then when those 2 injuries happened, I went to a dark place. I started picking up the bottle. I started drinking. I started smoking.
Right.
I was real pessimistic. I kind of just shut myself off from my family.
And let me ask you, that, and this is what year in your career you would say this is around 4 or 5 years?
This is about 5 or 6, I believe.
5 or 6. So now, while you're going through that, you didn't know the truth at that time, right?
I didn't.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the Most High periodically was removing the veil from my eyes, right? And I'll get to that in a second, because as I look back on how the Most High was ordering my steps, it's very fascinating. And
wait, before you go there, because I want to backtrack to you saying you was smoking, you started drinking, you was in a dark place. I want to know, did it have something to do with your with the level of the lifestyle you was living, and now you wasn't able to accomplish that anymore because of your injuries, or is just the whole overall picture of just you not really being able to have a long career in the NFL?
It was all of those things. I mean, it was all of those things because, I mean, I'm hurt, so I can't help my teammates. I'm inactive. I'm just here.
Right.
And I got to figure out what's next. Like, I just got hurt. My 2-year deal that I just got hurt. So who's going to sign me now? Where am I going to go play now?
And all that is in your mind.
Exactly. Like, what's next? And so I got a whole year to think about this stuff. Because I'm 16 games, I'm out.
And you don't get paid while you're out, right?
You do get paid. You do get paid, but depending on your contract, sometimes your pay get cut in half if you get a season-ending injury like that. But luckily for me, that I didn't have to go through that.
Oh, praise the Most High. Okay, good.
I was distancing myself from everybody, and it was really bad for me because I couldn't watch games. I just couldn't watch football. I couldn't be around my teammates because once you're hurt, my schedule and my routine is entirely different than the rest of the team. Because all I'm doing is I'm working to get back healthy.
Rehabbing,
I'm rehabbing, right? No practice, no film, no weights, no traveling with the team. I just go rehab and then I go home and I would see my teammates passing through the training room to go to meetings and go to their class. Hey, what's up, Bush? Hey, what's up, coach? It was, passing by, but I'm in the training room all day. And I go home and it was just like, and so it was really dark because then it went from pessimistic and always being negative to now I'm having suicidal thoughts to where I don't even want to be here no more. It's like, and when I say suicidal thoughts, I don't mean like I had a gun and I was ready to blow my brains out, but you know how the enemy works.
Right.
Start planting seeds. You blew it, dude. You ain't gonna never get another chance. There it is for you. Just these negative thoughts. But then it comes to, well, what do I got to live for?
Wow.
What, you start thinking like, will they miss me if I'm gone? All of these, the enemy was just planting these seeds. But the way the Most High was working, because as men, most of us deal with things internally.
Right.
We're providers, we're protectors. So a lot of these thoughts and a lot of these feelings, I couldn't tell my wife. I had nobody to talk to because I was embarrassed.
Right. Yeah, of course.
But every time I had those thoughts, my daughter, because we only had one child at the time, she would walk in the room and I would snap out of it every time.
Wow.
Or I would get a phone call from a guy that was a minister and he was doing he was evangelizing, and me and him had connected and we would do Bible studies together. And he was probably the only person that I would, confide my issues with. And anytime I felt that way, either my daughter would come in the room or he would shoot me a text or he would give me a call and I would snap out of it.
And you see, that was the Most High working in the background, letting you know your worth, because a lot of times, with these, when you make it in such a high level, and now you got these contracts coming in, you seen all this money. Now, what tends to happen? I don't know if this happened to you, but you could probably you could clarify it for me and the audience that once you start seeing once you're in a certain tax bracket, it kind of makes you feel like this is your worth. And now once that's taken away from you, it's like now you start to question your worth. And I think that's what you was going through.
Absolutely. No, you're 100% right. What happens is you start to equate what you do with who you are. And that happened, and it still happens to this day to a lot of people that's still in that world. Right. What I noticed as I look back on everything that happened, because the suicidal thoughts came, the drinking came, the smoking came. And after all of that, the Most High still gave me another chance to play. After all of that, everything that happened, I still got another opportunity to play.
Because this is like year 6?
Year 6. So I go to Detroit now. So I go from
playing with the Lions.
All of these cities, right? From Atlanta to Denver to New Orleans to Detroit.
So now what year is this now? This is like 2000 and what, you would say?
This was 2016. And this is when the Most High started waking me up.
2016.
And it was like little bits and pieces. Like, used to call him God, used to call him Jesus. Then it went to Yahweh and Yeshua and just go from not eating pork no more to not celebrating holidays. It was just like the Holy Spirit was just giving me little bits and pieces, like put down the pork. All right, babe, we're not eating pork no more. Why? I don't know. I didn't even have no reason why, but I would just stop doing it. Hey, babe, we're not doing Christmas no more. Well, why? It's pagan.
You know what's so crazy that you're saying that? Because I find it, even for me, when I was coming into the truth, a lot of things I started getting purged from. And it's like what you're saying, the Holy Spirit just be like telling you, like, you know, refrain from that. It's like the Most High has to clean us up before he could finally give us certain things, because a lot of the filth that we have put into us is like it clogged our minds. It did something to us spiritually. So I could agree with what you're saying, because I know some of you, you know, brothers and sisters who's watching right now could attest to the same thing. Like, yo, like you just started purging yourself. Like it just happened out of nowhere. I can't explain it either.
And it was periodical. Mm-hmm. And you're absolutely right. So all of these things are happening. And then the Most High was like, hey, you ain't got much longer in this game. So all of the bills, you know, student loans, car loans, and house payments, pay them off.
That's what was coming to you as you playing.
Yeah. And this was like year 7. I was in Detroit. So, you know, through the grace of the Most High, car notes, paid them off. House, paid it off. My student loans paid it off. My wife's student loans paid it off.
All praises.
My mom, who actually took money out before I got a scholarship, and paid that off. So I said, at least when I'm done, I won't have to worry about any debt.
Right,
and
yeah.
And that was wisdom. That was wisdom. And so, and let me just backtrack a little bit, because what people don't understand about professional athletes, one thing that I can say, I was breaking so many commandments and didn't even know it.
Like, explain that.
I was a coveter. I coveted a lot, because everything about an athlete is documented. You can go on the internet. For the most part, is it accurate? No, but it still puts people in the mindset that this person has XYZ amount of dollars.
Right.
So when I'm seeing guys getting this money, because everything's documented. I'm watching guys, we play the same position, and I'm watching him get this, and I start to cover what he has.
So it's like you guys subconsciously compete.
Exactly. And I didn't know how deep it was for me, how competitive I was, until I actually got out of it. But picture this, right? There are certain battles that happen on the team where it's may the best man win, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And for me, what was happening was I was so competitive because I wanted this really, really bad. Because I was coveting, what I was coveting was riches. That was it. I was coveting it. That's why Sirach 31 tells you to, watching for riches, some of the flesh and the care thereof driveth away sleep. That's what it was doing to me.
Yeah, it happened, yeah.
And so I became so possessed with trying to get dollars that my morals was starting to become off. Like I started having an evil eye to the brother beside me that didn't do anything to me. It was to the point where I ain't like this brother. Good dude, but we play the same. We play the same position. So if you get it, then guess what? I can't feed my family.
So it's like these contracts make y'all compete against each other. It's like it kind of forces y'all to do that.
Well, at least we in my mind, at least in the player's mind, at least in my mind, I thought that I was competing. So every year that I was coming into a new season, I thought, well, if I work hard, if I give maximum effort, I'm gonna be rewarded for that. When in actuality, that's not really the case. You know, the guys that's getting the most dollars, they're going to play.
Right.
And it took me a long time to figure. It took me a long time to understand that, and I didn't understand it. So the love that I started having for the game, I was miserable, bro. If I'm being honest, I was miserable the entire time, regardless of of everything that was going on.
Right.
I'm fulfilling my dream. At least I thought I was, but I'm still miserable. I'm still miserable.
And what's crazy is because some people think that once you get there, that's the pinnacle. Like I've made it a success. But you're saying that wasn't for you because, you know, there's a lot of young kids right now who's trying to make it in sports, whether it could be NFL, NBA, MMA, whatever it is, right? So, but you're saying once you got there, it's like, okay, what's next?
That's when the real battle began. That's when the real battle began for me. And let me charge this computer up right quick.
Okay.
Before it goes dead. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, folks.
No, it's okay. Yeah, brothers and sisters, as you come in, do us a favor, hit that like button.
There we go.
All right.
So, but like I was saying, I was breaking so many commandments. Coveting.
So coveting was one. Tell me about something else that you seen yourself going down a slippery slope.
I didn't love my neighbor. I literally had an evil eye towards a guy that's trying to feed his family. It was to the point where I need him to get hurt so I can play.
Really? That's the thoughts that's coming in your mind.
Yes.
And you know what's crazy? I could imagine that's the thought that's coming into other players' mind too, whether it be NBA or NFL or MLB, whatever it is, because at the end of the day, everybody's competing for a position, and two, for that max contract. You know what I'm saying? So I always wanted to know this, right? Before you continue with your story, is it true that guys play their hardest to make, if this is their contract year, they play the hardest and then they just fall back after they get the contract? Is that something that's like known or really practiced in these sports?
I would agree. I mean, because ultimately that's what you're striving for. You're trying to set yourself up for life and get out. Now the extremely great ones, they figure out how to continue to keep a fire lit.
Right.
But you got guys that'll get a contract and he's never the same. And that's what made me so angry, because I'm playing behind a guy that's getting a ton of money. I'm like, man, I would kill to be in your position.
And you work harder.
You're not taking this serious. So, you know, I had an evil eye towards my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because we competing. At least I thought we was. You know, that's what they tell you. Right. But they already know I'm playing this guy because we drafted him or he's getting paid a lot of money.
Right.
So regardless of what I do.
Yeah, my money's worth, yeah.
Yeah, regardless of what I do, like regardless how hard I work, unless some miracle happen, I'm just a guy. You know, but it took me, I couldn't accept that because I'm a competitor. I believe in my skill set. I knew I belonged, because if I hadn't belonged, I wouldn't have been there. But for whatever reason, I just couldn't get over that hump, and I couldn't understand it. So, you know, as I'm in Detroit, I'm playing really good, you know. And again, it's money driven. Everything is money driven. The Bible says you can't serve two masters. You can't serve God and mammon. I can honestly say that I was serving mammon and subconsciously, but I didn't know it. Because I would say God, you know, family, football, but the works, my priorities were not that way.
It was football first.
Yeah, like the scripture says in Hosea, like, you know, through affliction, my people seek my face. Yeah, I would get on my knees. I would pray to God. I'd read my Bible the night before the game. Take it on a road trip. Hey, God, I need an interception. Hey, God, I need this. Just like, you know, this foolishness, you know.
The
just
Most High became like a genie to you.
Praying a miss. That's it. And it's because I didn't have no understanding of the Most High. I didn't understand who I was. I didn't understand the Most High. And I grew up in a Christian church.
As we all did.
Yeah. So I knew about God. And I knew a lot of things, but, you know, not according to knowledge. I had zeal not according to knowledge. And so, you know, in Detroit, it was a really good season, played really great. So now I'm up for a contract again. So I'm like, yo, this gotta be the year here. Like, I just put on a great performance. I should at least get this.
Right.
You start playing all these things in your head, like, man, I should get da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da.
Right.
And I ain't get nothing near what I thought I was gonna get. It was humbling. And so I'm like, dang, maybe I ain't the guy I thought I was. You know? So I ended up going back to New Orleans, left a year, came back. And by that time, I started understanding, like, okay, I went from being a rookie to one of the youngest in the room to now I'm the oldest. I'm one of the oldest guys in the DB room.
Right.
It just happened so fast. So now I'm starting to realize, like, I don't have much time left.
Yeah, because how long they give football players? Like 30 what? They would say.
Yeah, you start hitting 30, they start looking at you with the crazy eye.
Oh,
They start looking at you with the crazy eye. And I think I was 30, actually. And so it's a young man's game.
Yeah.
You got all these young college guys just coming in every year, and they trying to take your spot.
Right, because you came in at 22.
I came in at 22, right? And so now I'm starting to face reality. Like, man, I don't know how much long I'm gonna be playing. Like, it looks like, you know, my worth is going down drastically, right? So I play in New Orleans, and my contract is up. So now in my mind, I'm thinking, well, that was it. You know, good career, 8 years.
Right.
It is what it is. I ended up getting another contract, 2 years in Buffalo. And so at this point, I don't have no love for the game. Like, I just don't have, I'm sucked dry.
Because you see what it is. Like,
yeah, the business is cutthroat.
Yeah.
So now I'm mentally drained. Like, yeah, if you're going to pay me, I'm going to play. You know, if you're going to sign me, I'm going to come.
Right.
I'm not going to turn it down. But mentally, I wasn't there. And this is when it really started to shift. You know, when I went to Buffalo.
Like this is 2016 now, you saying?
This is 2018.
2018, okay.
This is 2018. And what happened was the coach at Buffalo would do this thing where if you was a new player that came in, he would actually have you stand in front of the team, you know, just kind of tell them something about yourself. Yeah, they probably know who you is as a player, but, you know, get a little personal.
Right.
He was doing this throughout the year. And one thing about me, I'm really observant. And so I started seeing guys, new teammates, introducing themselves. It was kind of mundane, like, hey, I'm so-and-so. This is the most influential person in my life, da-da-da-da-da, boom. So when it was my turn to stand before my team, I took a quite different approach because at this point I was pretty much fed up with it. And I get up in front of my teammates. And I had a picture on the internet that I found when I had got hurt, when I tore my pec. Somebody took a picture of me walking to the locker room. And the older me, looking back at the younger me, I can see me battling demons in that picture alone. Like my eye, like I was ashamed of myself. And so I put that picture up on the wall and I said, this guy right here, and I was telling my teammates, I said, this guy right here was in a very, very, very dark place. And I was sharing some of my shortcomings with them. And that's when I confessed. I said, I made football my God. I said this to my teammates. And then I said, this is how I know it's the Most High. Because I didn't know the name of the Most High.
Right.
So I said, but God said, I am that I am. So here I am confessing the name of the Most High. Mind you now, I'm still not in the truth.
Yeah.
But I'm confessing the name of the Most High.
Wow.
And, you know, I had some, you know, a lot of teammates go, wow, that's deep, man. Coaches even like, man, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. I was like, it's like that day I denounced everything. I was like, man, the money, the jewelry, if you got women, whatever it is, the clubbing, it doesn't matter. It's all vain.
And you saying that in front of a room full of athletes.
A room full of men. And it was like after I made that, like the Bible says, confess your faults, right? And forsake thy ways. So after I made that confession, the weight of the what ifs, the scenarios that I would always play in my mind, the overanalyzing, the overthinking, the burden, I was free from it. I no longer really cared about the game. That day was the turning point. That day was the turning point for me. And it's amazing how the Most High works. So that year in Buffalo, right, I had a rookie that was in front of me, right? Mm-hmm. First game of the year, he tears his labrum. Oh. So he gets surgery.
Right.
I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, I have the same injury, right?
The same exact injury that he had.
Same exact injury he had. But check this out. They let him get surgery.
Right.
They told me that I could play with the injury and get the surgery after the season.
After the season?
Yeah.
I guess because they needed you for that position.
They needed me for the position. And also, so at first they told me that what was wrong with me wasn't what I thought it was. So I had to get a second opinion. So I got a second opinion from a doctor that did my 2 other surgeries. And he was like, yeah, you need to get that repaired. Right? But me being a warrior and a gladiator, if that's what you want to call it, I decided to, fight through it. And because I fought through it, it actually helped me later down the road. And so that off season, because I waited after the season, I had surgery. Now the surgery is like a 4 to 6 month recovery time. Ooh. And normally I'm a veteran now, so I'm in year 8.
Yeah.
So my routine is pretty much the same, right? You go through training camp, you go through the season. I would normally always start training back a week after the Super Bowl. It was like a mental clock.
Right.
All right, it's time to get back to it. But this time, because I'm hurt, I'm out. So I'm just sitting around the house. Mm-hmm. And me and my wife went, at this time, before I started studying. I started reading. I bought the Hebrews and Negroes. I bought all 3 volumes.
Oh, okay. So you was watching that first. You fell upon, okay.
I fell upon that first. And I just started. I never read that much in my life.
But this is during your recovery period.
This is during the recovery period.
I see what the Most High did. The Most High allowed you to have that injury to slow you down, to be able to make you focus on something, and it was him actually. Oh wow! Praise the Most High. Look at that. Look how the Most High work. Listen, brothers and sisters, when the Most High want you, he gonna get you. I'm telling you. We got plenty of examples. We got Jonah. Jonah tried to run. The Most High said, yeah, okay. Fish come swallow him up and still bring him to where I need you to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? When the Most High call, you can't run. But go ahead, brother.
And that was what was going on. So I was reading. Man, look, I've never been the type of person that like to read. But for whatever reason, I couldn't put the book down.
Wow.
So obviously, there was scripture references in there. So now I got me a 1611. I'm reading the Bible. I know who I am according to the scriptures. And me and my wife went to Egypt for like a week.
During your recovery?
During my recovery.
So speak about that experience. You actually went to Egypt.
I did.
Okay.
And when Elder always says that they know who you are over there, Benny Yaku?
It's true?
Oh yeah, it's definitely true.
So they were saying that to you, oh, Benny Yaku, Benny Yaku.
They wasn't necessarily saying that to me, but
you knew
being over there, they have this, it was like an admiration. Like, I'm like, why is these people looking at me? It wasn't like in Babylon when somebody staring you up and down, you like, yo,
yeah, what's up? Right, yeah. It's
over different. There, it was like admiration.
In awe, like, oh my God.
Yeah. And so, and then my wheels really started turning because at this point I know we're the Hebrews.
Right.
So
yeah.
I'm in the Valley of the Kings. I'm in the Egyptian museums. I'm seeing all these. I'm like, this is us.
That's us. Wow.
Right. And so, and mind you, excuse me, I also had got the Babylon and Timbuktu book.
Okay.
So I'm reading Hebrews and Negroes. I read the whole Babylon and Timbuktu book on the way to Egypt. And also I had my Bible. So
right.
I was downloading all this information. It was being downloaded. And one thing I can say that football really helped me retain information because I was a copious note taker. Because I needed to take notes in order to remember my assignment and things of that nature. So I was able to download a lot of scriptures and they would just come out. Bam, 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 bam. And so I come back from Egypt. I actually bought a souvenir from Egypt. It was a limestone, and it was a picture of their gods, the balance of life, things of that nature. So I bought this souvenir, right? Check this out. I bought this souvenir, right, to bring back home to America.
Right.
Put it in my bag, wrapped it up, put some clothes over it.
They wouldn't let you bring it.
No, they let me bring it. But when I got home, guess what? It was split in two.
It broke?
It was broken too. So that was the Most High telling me, like, no idols, brother.
Right. Wow. Praise the Most High. Look at that.
And so I get back home, we get to the States, and you know how algorithms work. So now I'm on YouTube. I'm just searching.
Right.
It was Elder Rawchaa and Elder Rawchaa. And it was, I think the video was, You Should Know the Truth. It was 2 parts. And when I clicked that video, and
the rest was history.
Man, it blew my mind. I already knew it was the people, but the information that he was breaking out about the King James being black and the Roman papacy, it blew my mind. And then from that point on, I was doing this all day.
Yeah.
From Sunday to Sunday, I was computer, Bible, lesson, Bible.
Yep. That's how it goes. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I'm still on the team now. I'm still part of the Buffalo Bills, but I'm still recovering from my injury.
And this is you would say this is 2018?
Yeah, going into 2019.
Okay. All right.
Going into 2018 and 2019.
Because what's crazy is that I met you. I think that it was what Passover at Pittsburgh. Was that 2019? Or 20?
That was
2021.
That was after COVID.
21.
Yeah, I think that was 2021.
That was 2021. Yeah.
And that was a powerful, just having all the young brothers.
Right. Yeah. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that too. Yeah. But I don't want to take away from your story.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so, by this time, I'm knee deep in the word. I'm in the academy, all of that. Now I hadn't found a body yet, but I'm learning from the church. And so I go back to Buffalo. We're in the off season, but we're back together as a team, right? And so I'm in there trying to teach them the secrets of the times. I'm in there. This ain't the Most High name. It's a higher. God ain't got many names because you
was on fire. I already know.
I'm debating with the chapel teacher. Me and him.
They had a chaplain in there.
Oh yeah. They do. That's what they do. They got the little chapel guy. The
little Jewish guy.
I don't think he was Jewish. No, I don't think he was Jewish.
I wonder why they have the chaplains. Like why do the NFL need that?
It's a form of religion to try to keep you, I guess, close to your faith. So we would always have chapel the night before the game. I never went to chapel. Never, not one time.
And what is that about? Like you just go there, you sit down and read scriptures or something like that? What is that?
Just like they do in the Christian church.
Oh, okay. And guys would go to that and just...
Yeah, just motivational speaking at the end of the day.
And then go right to the club right after that. Ain't no difference from the Christian church. Yeah, but go ahead.
So me and him debating, not necessarily debating, but we're going back and forth, right? Now, mind you, he's a chapel teacher. So guess what? When it comes to spiritual understanding and advice, they're going to him.
Okay.
And I was at the table because I'm on fire. I'm full of zeal. I'm teaching them the young.
You got some knowledge now, so
yeah. I'm teaching them Christ's name, and they call him over there, and now he's like, God got many names, and you know how it is when you got zeal. You just bam, you go in the scripture, bam, bam.
Right.
And his face, he was turning red. You could tell he was embarrassed because he was getting showed up in front of his,
Yeah, you supposed to be the one teaching.
Exactly.
Right.
And so this how fire I was on fire I'm teaching them academy lessons. Like, they like, brother, what? We ain't in the year 22. What are you talking about? Like,
you blowing their minds.
Yeah, it's like, brother, we got practice.
Right.
But so what happened was I ended up reaching out to the elders. They got back with me fairly quickly. Found out that they had a church in Charlotte at the time.
Okay.
So that's where I got in contact with Elder Hannah, who's the elder over there.
Yeah, shout out to Elder Hannah, man, holding it down.
Elder Hannah. He was bishop at the time. And so this is how excited I was, because now the schedule, I'm working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. My family is still in Charlotte. I would fly home every Thursday, go to the Sabbath, spend time with my family, come back, work, do it all over again. Did that for like 6 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And so I remember the first call I got from Elder Hannah. I was leaving the building. And this is how excited I was, because I was so ready to get out of Buffalo and see my family, because at this time we have 3 kids and my son is a newborn. So I'm trying to get back.
Right.
Spend
baby,
time
the prodigy.
Exactly. And so I got a phone call from Elder Hannah, and I'm running out the building because I got a flight to catch, right? I got 30 minutes to get to the airport, catch a flight, boom. I get on the phone with Elder Hannah. We talking for like 30 minutes, and just the love that he showed, he was just so approachable. He was, you could feel the spirit on him, man, and it compelled me. So, I go to the body, and I went by myself the first time because you want to try the spirit. So I go the first time, and I loved it. It blew me away. And I went back to my wife. I gave her the report, and I can count on how many how many Sabbaths we missed since.
And let me ask you too, because you said you told your wife. So when you first found out this information, Hebrews to Negroes, you will take the flight to Egypt. We Israel. How did she accept the truth? Because I know sometimes there's usually some friction if one spouse finds it before the other one, and so how was that transition for you?
I'm telling you, everything was smooth. Everything about the transition for me and my wife was smooth, because she wasn't really indoctrinated with Christianity like that.
Okay, praise the Most High.
So it was easy. Even my mom. My mom was a Christian, a devout Christian, obviously. So when I got information, I was sharing it with her. So once she moved down here, she started going to the Sabbath with us to this day.
Wow, praise the Most High, man. Let's clap that up, man. Praise the Most High. Look at that. The Most High had it. He opened up everybody's eye at the same time. No friction. Smooth transition.
Yep. And so now I'm in the body, right? Don't nobody know, not too many people other than elder and deacon know, but
that you in the NFL.
Yeah, as far as the congregation, and I would think that even till about a year ago, most people didn't know. Wow. Because I'm not the type to go around and say, hey, I was such and such.
Yeah, it's not about that, right?
Yeah, it's not about that. I was on feast days, I was sweeping up. I was going there, grab a broom, put some throw the trash in the trash can, fold up tables.
Right.
It didn't matter to me, but so now I'm a part of the body, and here comes the test. Here comes, when you trust in the Most High, like the scripture says, when you trust in Him, you should never be ashamed.
Right.
So now the test comes. So now I'm contemplating retirement. My mind is pretty much made up.
So basically, you didn't have to retire. You could have kept playing, basically.
Yeah.
You was perfectly healthy. Everything was good.
Yep.
Okay.
I was. And here's the thing. Once I found out that we had to work on the Sabbath, I pretty much was like, I'm done.
Wow.
Now, I'm not telling anybody else to, if you're working on the Sabbath, to quit your job. That's
Right.
not, please don't take that and run with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will say this, the Most High tries the reins. He knows our hearts.
Yeah.
And if you really are keeping the Sabbath holy in your heart, the Most High will make a way for you to where you won't have to work on the Sabbath. So just keep that in mind. Just keep enduring. But once I found out about that, I was like, oh man, they got us on the Sabbath working, man. I was full of zeal. So, but the thing is, I still had another year left on my deal. So here's where trusting in the Most High, I had to put my faith where I had to match my faith with my work. So I tell my agent, I'm like, man, I'm thinking about hanging it up. He was like, okay, all right. And there were many guys that I actually came in with from that Atlanta squad.
Yeah. Back in 2010.
All the draft picks now.
Back in 2010, you talking about?
Back in 2010.
Yeah.
One of them was my best friend to this day. He was the first round draft pick. He had retired probably 4 years before I had, or he had been done playing like 4 years before I got done playing. So what I started doing is I started calling people that I played with, and I started asking them like, what is it like? Do you miss it? I'm just asking all these questions. And I kept getting the same response. It was karma, like, go get the money, go get the bag. Play until they kick you out.
Right.
This is the response that I was getting, and it didn't resonate with my spirit.
Right.
So now I'm at a crossroad because there's also legal things that can happen if I retire prematurely.
Right.
The money that they gave me, they can take it back. And so my financial advisor at the time was like, you might want to play.
Right. Just play out the contract.
But here, me being full of zeal, I'm like, I don't care. They can take it. This is my mind was made up. And so I'm in Buffalo, like I said, for the 6-week period where I'm traveling back and forth from Charlotte to Buffalo every Thursday to Sunday. And so once we wrap up that 6-week period, we got 4 weeks. We got 4 weeks off, and then we got training camp for a month, and then the season starts.
Right.
So I'm fully healthy, by the way. Now I'm back. I'm fully healthy. And so I informed the coaches. Said, listen, I'm thinking about retiring. And out of respect for y'all in the organization and things of that nature, I'll give you guys enough time to replace me or fill out the roster, do whatever you need to do. I'll be in communication with y'all these next 4 weeks. And they were like, okay, you sure you want to do this? I'm like, just give me some time. And I was contemplating because I didn't want to go back to Buffalo because there was nobody in Buffalo. Right. There's nobody in Buffalo, New York. So now I've already been with the body. I'm building relationships with people. And you mean to tell me for the next 6 to 7 months, I got to disconnect from the body?
And you already baptized and everything at this point?
No, I wasn't baptized. But what happened was I got baptized right before I was supposed to go back.
Okay. I see.
Right before I was supposed to go back to Buffalo, I ended up going in the water. But now my wife is ready to get baptized. So it's like, what I look like? Well, I mean, so now I got to go to Buffalo and I'm baptized, but my wife now.
Right.
And we're both separated from the body. Now I can watch online, but as for those that know, there's a difference when you're online watching videos.
Yes.
And when you're with the body.
Complete difference. Yes. Yeah.
It's a complete difference. So anybody out there that's been in this truth or been watching the leadership and elders for a long time, please find a body. It's life changing. Yeah. It's life changing. And so this is here's the test of my faith. Right. And I have to share this because now I'm vexed because I'm like, man, I gotta go back. I'm not really ready to do this. So I called the gym, and I have a heart to heart. He don't have a heart to heart, but I'm just pretty much spilling out all the issues that I'll be dealing with, and I'm just giving it to him the truth.
Right.
Now, one thing about these general managers, they don't care about your personal life.
They be like, boy, go out there and play.
Exactly.
I'm paying you. That's exactly what they want.
What can you do for me? Can you help or no?
Right.
So I'm laying it to him. I'm telling him, like, I'm in Charlotte. I give him a call. We talk, and I can tell that he was disinterested in what I was saying. And he said, "Give me a couple of days, and I'll get back with you." I didn't like his response at the time, so I was like, "Man, I don't think he liked what I said." So here's a shout out to Matazadoc, right?
Oh, shout out Matazadoc, man. Officer Matazadoc holding it down, man. Shout out to my op.
Yeah, that's my op, man. So So I'm vexed. I'm going through this decision that I have to make, and I think I shared it with him. Now, Matazadoc had just came from Ohio at the time. So he's kind of new to the Charlotte body as well. And first thing he said, you want to fast? I go on a fast with you. I'm like, huh? Fast? But by the time, I've never fasted. So,
right.
But this brother really didn't at that time know me from a can of paint, was willing to go on a fast with me to help me make a decision to go on with whatever the Most High had for me. So we went on a fast. It was like a 24-hour fast, right? And I'm just in the closet the whole day, in the dark room, just praying, reading, just asking the Most High for guidance. And so about a week later, the GM called me and was like, "You know what? We're going to let you retire. We're going to let you retire. And we're not even going to come after the money we gave you."
Wow, look at that, bro.
And I was like, okay. And you know what it was? He said, "You went under the knife for us," which means surgery.
Right.
You bled for us. So because of that, go on and, good. Thumbs up. So had I would have got that surgery during the season,
right,
I would have never got favor when it was time for me to retire.
So that's how it helped you, when you said it helped you in the long run. And
when I had brought the news to my agent to retire, he was like, "Well, you don't find a reason for them to cut you. Don't just retire, because then you got to give your money back." So he was like, "Why don't you try this? Why don't you go in there and say, your shoulder isn't 100%, and you still got some lingering issues," because they don't like to deal with injury-prone players.
Right.
But in my mind, in my heart, I'm like, I can't do that. That's a lie.
Yeah.
No. I told the GM exactly what it was, and my agent at the time, he didn't really agree with that. He was like, "Man, what you doing? Like, they can file a grievance against you." But everything worked out. The Most High allowed everything to work out, and here we are now. All praises to the Most High.
All praises to the Most High, man. Because what I see, what I see from your whole career is you chasing that dream, chasing the accolades, chasing the money towards the end of your career, and the Most High is waking you up. It's like, yo, y'all can have it. It's like you already, towards the end of your career, you realize this is not, y'all can have it. I don't need it. Right. And I'm pretty sure there's a couple of people out there who's athletes. They probably experience the same thing you experience, and going through that same roller coaster of emotions of what if I don't make it, what if this, what if that. But you was able to tap into the Most High, right, and allow the Most High to take control. And I think that's what a lot of people is afraid of, especially people who's in those circles, who's higher up, these entertainers, these athletes. And I believe that they just afraid of the unknown. That's just basically what it is. And here it is, you was able to just step out on faith, and look how the Most High took care of everything for you.
Yep.
You gotta clap that up for the Most High, man.
You know, the scripture says, the deceitful riches, the cares of this world choke the word.
Yeah, the parable of the sower. Yeah.
So a lot of times, a lot of athletes, a lot of celebrities, they hear the word, but the cares and the riches and the deceitfulness thereof,
Yeah.
it chokes the word.
And I'm pretty, and we had this this conversation as well too. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of athletes and entertainers out there who know the information because the internet is free to everybody. And I'm pretty sure, certain videos pop up, certain information pop up, or certain teammates might have family members who's in truth and they see in posts, but they choose to ignore it. So I know that's happening out there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But hey, that's going to be their witness if they don't, take heed to it. In my case, my Hebrew name is Rawchaa, not Barak as in blessed, but Barak is Barach, which means make haste to the Most High, bolt to the Most High, flee to the Most High.
I gotta change that now. Rawchaa.
Kind. And so, and Matazadak gave me that name too. So shout out to Matazadak. But once the word came, it was like, okay, go. There wasn't no hesitation. There wasn't no but, no what else. It was just go.
So here it is, brothers. This is a perfect example of somebody who was, I would say, was at the pinnacle of pinnacles. Played in the NFL, right? It don't get no better than ain't get no better than the NFL. It's NFL, NBA, NHL, right? These are the top professional sports, and our brother here was at the highest professional level, and my Ak was able to say, you know what, I don't need all of this. To Hades with this, give me the Most High. So it's possible. You understand what I'm saying? But people make it seem like it's not possible. And here it is. We're like a lot of us, we don't make it to that type of level. We have regular jobs. We just in the world. We have friends that's making the same amount of us, but we can't give that up to follow the Most High. And brother, your testimony is such a blessing, and it's so special because we have proof that it don't matter how high you make it in this world. One thing that I could say from your testimony, I could see that no matter what level you at, they still suck you dry, bro. And that's all they want. Babylon want to see what you could do for me. And it's like you could give and give and give. It's still not enough because they're never going to pay you your worth. Never going to pay you your worth. And here it is. The Most High took you through that process, that 9-year process, to show you this is what this is what you wanted. I gave it to you. Are you fulfilled? And that's what brothers and sisters need to ask themselves. Are you fulfilled chasing whatever it is you're chasing? We could go a lifetime ignoring the Most High and not even think, is this where it's supposed to be for me? Is this am I happy? Is this the end all be all? And here it is. We have our brother who was there and was able to make a conscious decision. And I could say for you, it was probably the best decision you've ever made in your life.
One thing I can say that I have now that I never had is peace. And you can't buy peace. Right. I don't care what's your status, how much money you got, how much people know you. Money can't buy that.
Money can't.
So all praise to the Most High for just taking me through the process and allowing me to see what I thought that I needed, that I couldn't live without. I don't even watch football now.
You don't even watch it?
I haven't watched a football game since I retired, and I think I'm going on close to 4.5, 5 years. I haven't watched a football game. People ask me all the time, like, man, I mean, when the Most High takes the desire from you,
right,
truly repent, it's gone.
Wow, look at that. And I always wanted to know this. You probably might not know, but is the NFL scripted? I know a lot of people want to know about that.
It would be hard for someone like myself to say it's scripted, because there's so many moving parts.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not to say that there aren't plays where there could be some conversation going on, but that would have to be someone that's up there at the top, the franchise player. Like somebody like myself, I would never know.
You will know. Yeah, okay.
I'm just basically doing what, hey, you got this, you got that.
Right.
Great. You know, so but to
makes sense.
that it's not scripted, this is Babylon. I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him at all.
Wow. All right, so what would you say to somebody who could be listening to you right now and is chasing the world? What would be your advice for that person?
Well, the scripture says to seek righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So my advice, I would do what Solomon did. I would seek wisdom. She's more precious than gold.
Right.
And if wisdom teaches you a skill or give you understanding on, something that's going to allow you to be in a room with great men, then so be it. But my advice would be to those that are chasing riches from experience. And I can tell you firsthand that it's not going to fill that void. It's just not. You want to know why Tom Brady took a long time to retire?
Why?
Covered in spirit.
Because they actually throw those the contract and the numbers to you, and I'm pretty sure those numbers is hard to walk away from.
My point exactly.
Yeah.
You'll have guys that'll hold out or sit out because they're not the highest paid at their position. Mm-hmm. So give you an example. Let's just say the highest paid receiver is getting $16 million a year. Now that's a lot of money. That is a buttload lot of money, right? But let's just say that the guy that's under him is getting $13 million. He'll feel some type of way because he's not getting $16 million, and he'll sit out.
Because he's not getting he's not getting that extra 3.
He's not getting that extra 3, which you probably won't see after taxes anyway.
Right.
But that's the coveting spirit. It's all vanity. It's all vanity. The perception of what people think of you.
Right.
A lot of people are driven by what people think of them. I remember used to getting on Twitter, search my name and just see what people would say about me. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Just vanity, like, your accolades of how good you play. This is how people judge you. Like, does that even matter?
Yeah. And it's like I was saying in the beginning, it's like we equate what we do to say this is what I'm worth. This is what I am. But if you take away these things, who are you at the end of the day? What's your value? And the Most High is showing all of us that the world may not find no value in any of you, but I find value in you. And look, the Most High chose you, you know what I'm saying, from the NFL to come and serve him, showing you that the Most High had value in you before you even thought of him. And that's what a lot of us, a lot of our brothers and sisters, all of us, we have to understand. This world cannot place a value on us. We're in the eyes of the Most High, we're invaluable. You know what I'm saying? He can't replace you. You're special. And I always like to say this too, like each and every one of us is special because the Most High created us, and not everybody's fingerprints is different. No two fingerprints is alike. So that goes to show how detailed the Most High took to make each and every one of us. So brothers and sisters, I'm just letting y'all know, if you struggling with choosing the world or the Most High, who values you the most? Think about it. A job or a company who's gonna use your services for 25 years and be like, all right, pat on the back, okay, you can retire now. Or the God of all gods who created you to be more than just a worker, more than just a servant. He's created you to be a king, a queen, a priest, a royal generation. So to me, it's a no-brainer who I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick the Most High every time. I'm going to pick the God who took his time to create me. And that's what we have to understand, brothers and sisters. Don't let a paycheck, don't let a contract, don't let fame, fortune beguile you. Or let me say it better, beguile you, okay? From the love of the Most High. This world, and as you can see from our brother's testimony, there was no amount of money they could have paid him to bring him peace, to bring him happiness. So consider that, my brothers and sisters. I'm telling y'all, we on the right path, but continue to choose the right path. And if you having a hard time choosing the right path, this goes out to maybe somebody who's watching this for the first time. If you're having a hard time choosing the right path, reach out to us. And look, we can go on this journey together. Ain't that right? Barak Ya Allah.
All praises. Hey, look, we in the time where we got to be 10 toes in for the Most High. We can't be straddling the fence. Anybody that's straddling the fence. Think of, when you read the book of Jasher, think of Abraham and his brother Haran, right? Abraham made his mind up who he was going to serve. But Haran was like, well, I'm going to see if he's going to deliver Abraham from this fire. And guess what? Nimrod threw both of them in the fire. But who came out of there unscathed? So if you go all in on the Most High, put 10 toes down, you're going to go all in on for you.
And that's all faith, because it tells you in the book of Hebrews, it says, he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is first. You got to understand that the Most High exists. And that was Haran's problem. Haran, he didn't believe fully. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna believe because, or I'm gonna believe as much as I see what the Most High does for this person right here. You can't move. The Most High don't operate like that. Right? Everybody's salvation is personal. So you have to make the conscious choice. Everybody got to make the conscious choice. So at this point in time, I don't know if you want to take any calls.
No, that's fine, my brother. It's fine.
All right, so I got one person who's chopping at the bits. I'm gonna bring him in first because he, in my eyes, I thought that he was going to the NFL. We all thought he was going to the NFL.
I know who you're talking about.
You're right. So, and he was a QB. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about now, right? My brother Casey Boss, I'm gonna bring him in first because I know he also was striving for that too. So let me bring him in. Let me see. I think I'll bring him in. You got to unmute. You can unmute.
You can hear me?
Yeah, definitely can hear you.
All right. Shalom, Deek. Shalom.
Shalom. What's going on, Doc?
And shalom to our brother, Rafael.
Shalom, my brother.
So, well, first and foremost, man, what a testimony. I watched most of the testimony on like 2x speed because I finished work late, but I caught up. So I was able to watch it normal pace. And my brother, man. So for me, my name is Casey, and I really resonated a lot with your testimony because if you don't know much about me, I played football as well. I played high school football and I played college ball. And Rafael, a lot of your testimony, I'm listening. I'm like, yo, I know exactly what he's talking about. Like, especially the year 2018. Like that's one thing I wanted to heavily emphasize on. You mentioned in 2018, that's when things started to change for you drastically, right? I'm telling you, the spirit that the Most High put in this earth in 2018 is unfathomable. Because 2018 was the same year, I would say, the same year when mentally for me, I was like, I'm done with football. I was like, this is not it.
Wow.
And mind you, I first got taught the truth when I was real young, like 20. I was 14 years old. I don't fully remember what year that was. I got to do some math. You know what I'm saying? But I do know 2018, I was in college. I was just finished my sophomore year. And mind you, you're already in the league. I'm over here trying to chase it. Like, yo, I'm trying to go to the league. Coming out of high school, like, yo, I want to go D1. I'm trying to make it to the league so I could do everything that I want to do that the Most High has me set up. But I'm like, yo, around like 2018 sophomore year, that was my best year. And I'm just like, yo, this is not it. It's not where it's unfulfilling. Even though Saturdays, game day, I'm scoring touchdowns, it's fun. But at the end of the game, there was a lot of other things that wasn't going right in my life at the time. And I'm like, nah, I gotta really start focusing more on the Most High. And it's crazy. You had that same revelation in the year 2018. To throw another caveat in this, bro, 2018, we was both in the Buffalo Bills Stadium the same year because I went to the Buffalo Bills game to watch the Patriots play that year. The Patriots played the Bills. Exactly. It was a cold point. You know exactly what game I'm talking about. Yeah. Shady was the running back that year, if I remember clearly. Yep. And Brady, I was a big Brady fan. I told you I played Q. I was a quarterback. So I'm at that game, and lo and behold, it's literally two brothers going through the same spiritual thing. Like, yo, we got to turn our ways to the Most High. Like, we having fun playing football, but this is not really fulfilling. So 2018 comes. That year I get baptized. And then, like, it hit me too. Like, yo, I'm playing on Saturday. I remember I went to my coach, like, spring ball coming. This is before the season. So spring ball comes around, and I'm like, dang, I'm the starting Q. I'm like, all right, I can't practice on Saturday. I'm not practicing on Saturday. I don't care.
Right.
So I go to my OC. I talk to my OC. That's offensive coordinator of everybody, which is like the coach, the OC, and the quarterback are very close for people that's listening. So I'm talking to my OC, and I'm like, man, like, I'm really getting close with my faith, my spirituality. I'm like, Coach, you already know for me, Saturday's a Sabbath day, and I can't practice on Saturday no more. Yo, he looked at me like I had 7 heads and 10 horns. You're the starting quarterback. Mm-hmm. You're going to tell me you can't practice on Saturday? And I was like, Coach, nah, I can't. And he sat back in his chair, looked at me, and was like, you know what? He's like, I respect it. I said, man, praise the Most High. So I'm every spring walk, I practice Tuesday, Thursday, class finish. I go to practice Tuesday, Thursdays, Saturdays. That's when the recruits come up to practice, but I'm not there. So I hear Saturday practices is not going too well because it's not, it's the backup quarterback running it. And I'm telling my teammates, I'm like, bro, y'all know the deal. I'm standing on faith right now. You know how the world be like standing on business, SOB. Right now, I'm standing on faith. So my coach, here's the caveat. It is a real kicker. 2018, my OC, like the one that respected me not practicing on Saturday, he left for a head coaching job somewhere else. So we got a new OC. New OC here is a starting quarterback not practicing on Saturday? Nah, that's crazy. I got demoted all the way to third string. I demoted. Lo and behold, in my mind, I'm like, I don't care. Like, right. At this point, I really don't care. I'm like, I'm good. So So season time come around, like summertime, I'm not, well, before season time, this is the first summer, I'm not training as hard either. Like, real talk, I'm not even training that hard. So season time come. In fact, no. This year, I'm bugging. Spring ball ended, I was third string. I was like, yo, this is whack. So summertime, I was training. Junior season come around, I don't earn the starting spot in camp. So you know, if you don't earn a starting spot in camp, you're not starting during the season. You already know that. You don't start if you don't win in camp. So I'm like, all right, well, at least I get to enjoy the Sabbaths because I don't really got to do nothing. I don't got to watch a lot of film. I'm just about to just coast through the season on the third string. So literally, junior year, I coast through the season. I played like one game. I'm like, well, it don't matter to me. Senior year come, I'm on the same type of timing now. I'm actually going up because my brother, he was congregating in my brother, he went to Brockport. You know, Brockport is nearby Buffalo. Mm-hmm. So after the games, I was just going up, like just going to Brockport, congregating with my brother, spending time with the bodies and the college people he converted out there. Senior year comes, I'm on the same type of timing. Now this is where it gets crazy. Like I told you, right now we standing on faith right now. Senior year comes, this is when I'm getting more removed from the game. This is the year I don't train that hard. Mind you, I was a 2-a-day type of guy, working out in the morning, hitting the field twice a day, working on my speed, working on my arm, rehabbing so my shoulders is good. You know, quarterbacks, you got to throw a lot, making sure my shoulders is good. So senior year comes, summertime, I don't even train. I'm always with the body. We street preaching. We doing all of this good stuff. And I'm like, yo, this is where it's at. I'm good on the season. Camp comes around. My brother, I don't know how this happens. I had the best camp ever. I ran the fastest 40 time. My bench numbers was crazy. I'm like, I didn't even train. My teammates is looking at me like, yo, what you did over the summer? And my mom like, yo, I was street preaching. That's what I was doing.
Praise the Most High.
God.
So I'm gonna wrap it up like real quick. So why it really touched me. Senior year, life is going. Senior year, I'm more in the body now. Really, after the games, I'm just finishing it out because I actually saw counsel when it hit me. Like I'm about to just quit altogether. And then the counsel, when I saw counsel, you know, I spoke with my family. I was like, you know, I'm just gonna finish it out. So when you said you kind of had to finish out your contract, I was like, I felt that because I felt like I just had to finish it out. So I just finished out that last year. Crazy enough, that was literally one of the best years I played with the least amount of training I did. And I'm like, yo, this is only because of the Most High.
Wow. Only
because of the Most High. And from 2018 on, it's just been standing on faith. And when you said you told the GM you're about to retire early, I'm like, I know how this testimony about to end. The GM about to say, we're not going to take the money back. And as you telling the story, and you're like, the GM he just sanctioned it. I'm like, yo, all praises to the Most High because when you stand on faith is a currency that's undefeated. Like, nobody would understand that currency except the one beholding it and God. Things will always turn out in your favor, bro. And I'm just, like, happy to hear your testimony to see that you made it to the destination that we as young boys is chasing. And then you realize, yo, it's really all vanity. And the only thing that really matters is actually serving the Lord in the end. Because if you see the kingdom first, you get everything in return. And on top of that, you get the priceless things like peace.
God.
Man, powerful testimony. Powerful. And just to add on, you know, you think about Daniel. I was actually teaching my kids about the book. We was reading the book of Daniel. But Daniel was what? Babylon, Medo, and the Persian Empire. And in all three of those instances, he had favor because he stood on his faith in the Most High.
God.
And his enemies had to be at peace with him, where he had favor in a land of captivity because of his faith. So just to add on to what you're saying, like if you trust in the Most High, you think the Most High gonna allow you to be ashamed for trusting in him? No. So definitely, man, all praises to the Most High for your testimony. Definitely similar. We got to stand 10 toes down for the Most High. God. Stand 10 toes down.
All praises to the Most High at the water, bro. For real.
Praises.
Praising the Most High. Standing on faith.
All right, throw out a Casey.
Shalom, my brother. We gonna talk.
Of course.
All right.
All right.
Shalom.
All right. Yeah, man. Hold on. Let me try to figure this out. Give me 1 second. All right, family. Y'all doing a great job. Continue hitting that like button. Definitely gonna take more calls with the OC. 1 second. Let me see who else is in the queue. Okay, I got one more, bro. I got Reek Judah calling in. 1 second. Shalom. Shalom. Can you hear? Reek?
Look like you're trying to connect his audio.
Let me see something here. Hold on real quick.
Shalom, can you hear me?
Definitely can hear you now. Hold on, I'm trying to fix the presentation of this thing. But you could keep talking.
Yes. Sorry, I'm on a new phone, so it was kind of messing me up.
Okay.
But yeah, this lesson tonight is perfect because I truly understand exactly what a brother's talking about when it comes to the sports and this truth. Because when I was younger, I always thought that I was going to make it to NFL.
You also played football.
That. Excuse me?
You also played football.
Yeah, I played football. I played football since I was a kid.
Okay.
And ever since I was a kid playing Pee Wee League, I was always told by the adults, the coaches, that they thought I was going to make it to NFL. They thought I was that good. I even had some coaches saying that I'm their sons in front of their own sons and things like that.
Wow.
Because they thought I was that good. I would get a lot of flattery. Coaches would give me things that I probably didn't deserve. And also, so I thought I was bigger than what I was.
Right.
And then when I got hurt, my last year to make, I was supposed to go to D1 college, but when I got hurt, and that pretty much stopped all that. Scouts stopped, looking at me and everything. I was so depressed at my last year in high school.
Right.
And I didn't understand who I was because I based everything off of football. And when and then I lost a love for the game. After that, I tried, but I lost a love for it. But I still tried to do it to please other people because everybody else thought I was going to make it. So I was trying to please their goal for me making it. And I was at a whirlwind in my mind, spiritually, everything. Even though people would tell me that they thought I was more than football, like I was smart and things like that, I didn't believe it. I thought, without football, what else can I do? And it took me to a deep depression. My mother, my girlfriend at the time, they didn't understand what I was going through. And they would ask my friends, what is he going through? And my friends wouldn't know because they couldn't understand because they didn't play sports and they didn't know, when it came to things like that, they didn't know how that went. I would just keep everything hidden, inside.
Right.
And it made me fall and get into a very, very deep depression at such a young age. But as a time went on, I started getting, believing in the Most High more. I didn't find the truth at that time, but I still was basing everything on how I would pray to him and ask him just to, get me out of the this depression I was in.
Right.
And it just opened my eyes up more to how the world is and how things are when it comes to the sports stuff and how addictive and messed up it can be for people if they don't have guidance. And that's one thing I did not have was guidance. And that's a very important thing for athletes or anybody who wants to do anything to have the proper guidance.
Right.
Because without that guidance, man, you'll go down a deep, dark path, and won't get out of it until it's too late at times. So a lot of times. So, but I understand what the brother's talking about, not his level, but I do understand overall what he's saying when it comes to what he felt, the mindsets, the injuries, everything like that. Like I clearly understand.
So that depression, and I know you was just talking about that too, Ak. That actually comes, and I want you to actually answer it. That actually comes from just not, I guess, the pressures of not being who you thought you was gonna be.
Exactly. Exactly. I thought I was gonna be something different. And I based everything on that person I thought I was gonna be. Mm-hmm. And when it didn't happen, the depression was extreme. I mean, and when you don't know how to handle it, you just make all the wrong moves, make all the bad decisions. But it's needed at the same time. That's the Most High. When I finally broke out of it and understood things, I was like, okay, that was the Most High humbling me and making me understand things better. I had to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Con.
I know exactly what you mean, brother. Trust me.
Yeah.
Depression, it's real. And especially when you don't have guidance, like you were saying, and you don't have the Most High, you don't understand the Most High.
Right.
What was happening was we was being purged.
Right.
Being purged. And like I said, I didn't know how to handle it either. I didn't know who to talk to. I was just too embarrassed to talk to people, like I said earlier. It's just
same here.
Hard to talk about,
Right.
Talk about.
I felt like I was a failure. I felt like I failed everybody when it didn't happen for me.
But praise the Most High that that was just a wake up call for you. You understand? Letting you know that you're more than football, right? That football wasn't your worth. So praise the Most High that you was able to come to that conclusion.
Yes, I found out that I was actually smart. That I actually had some brains on me when I finally came out of it.
Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. All right, my brother. I appreciate you. Definitely gonna put you back in the queue. Always great talking to you, bro.
All right, same here. Shalom, yo.
All right, shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah, man. I got another person calling in. Let me see. How do I do this now?
How do I get out of this?
Okay. I know it's showing up. I gotta fix the presentation of this thing. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, my brothers. Shalom, my brothers. Deacon Hazan and brother Rafael Bush.
Shalom, my brother. How you doing?
I'm blessed. This is Brother Yashar. Praise the Most High for this testimony. And my brother Casey came through. Brother speak with some fire. But I say that because, there was one scripture going through my head as I was listening. And this is why, the Bible says that we don't glory in ourselves, but we got to exhort one another. And I've known Hazak for a long time, so I'll give him as much exhortation as I possibly can. But in this moment, I just want to say to you, my brother, the Bible literally tells us in the book of Corinthians, he doesn't call many mighty. He doesn't call many great. And he said, I chose the base things to confound the knowledge of this world. And the reason why I go to that scripture, because it's not easy for somebody who could make it in this world, who could have that level of notoriety, to turn away from that and seek the Most High. And the reason why I appreciate that is because, like my younger brother, we had a heavy football background. I mean, it started when I first saw kick return at 8 years old. I couldn't believe somebody could kick a ball that far and somebody could run it back to the house like that. And it started from that sent me and my brother, we would just train. And I'm 2 years older than him. Same thing, youth football, high school, college recruit. And my story came to an end, but I was perceiving that it was through the Most High. And very similar to it, there's so much, it's interesting how the Most High ends your story, because I look at football, right? I could see when you were talking about you were coveting, right? I look at football like, wow, it became idolatry for me. Because I remember before Saturdays, I played receiver. I had a full-blown routine. First off, I kept track of all my catches every week. I was like, you can't drop a pass in a game. That's for people who suck. Then Friday nights, I had to throw the football up 100 times catch it one hand on the right. Throw it up 100 times, catch it one in the left. Then I had to throw it up 100 times, catch it two hands, and look it in. Then I would study how do different people catch a football. My personal favorite was Larry Fitzgerald. And I'm going somewhere with this too. Larry Fitzgerald would say he used to look at the crosshairs of the ball because when he was in high school, his coach would paint the colors and you had to call out the colors when you make the catch. So then I began to be a student of the game. Then when I was in high school, I feel bad saying this, but the girl I was with, I used to tell her, if you argue with me on a Friday and I play bad on Saturday, I guarantee you we will not be together by that Sunday. That's idolatry.
Yeah.
That's idolatry.
You took it to a whole nother level.
This became my idol. And when I was in the 12th grade, she really thought this was games. Like for us in New York City, there was like an all-star game and there's like a boomer game. And then I made it to the all-star game and then I was starting. And then she was seeing the recruits come. So she was like, you're really going to leave me? And I remember like it was yesterday, we were in Burger King. I looked at this girl like she had 7 heads and 10 horns and sitteth on 7 mountains. I looked at her like she was crazy. Of course I'm leaving you. What you talking about? Like, you're not paying my bills. I dreamed that this is how my family's making it out. I've dreamed of this my whole life. And now I'm 2 steps away. I'm college football away and then the league. So you're a dub. Like, yeah, I like you, but not more than football. And she used to ask me that. Do you like football more than me? And I used to tell her, you're not going to like the answer to that question. Again, I feel bad saying this, but this is the 18-year-old, 17-year-old version who all you know is football. Just the league. So then I get to college. Now, this is when I get a reality check. I was used to all my coaches loving me. Oh, Boston, oh, that's so good. Oh, you're so good. I was used to that. Now, you made it to the league, so you know college is a different breed. It's a different breed. The defense is different. Everything is different. So I took about 2 weeks to adjust to college football, honestly speaking. Now, that sounds, for everyone who's not in the football world, that's late because we have something called camp. And if you don't come out of camp doing good, your chances of starting is not there. So I was like, all right, I could accept it. Not starting as a freshman. I don't even support being on the bench, but hey, I got 3 other years. I began to catch the rhythm of college football. So now I'm cooking. I make a crazy mistake as being immature. But see, here I'm thinking it's my mistake, but this is how the Most High is orchestrating things in the background. I'm like, you know what? My coach is getting me tight. I'm about to go back, visit my family in New York City, and come back. Truth be told, I really just wanted to just go do stupid foolishness that I should have had no business doing. So I come back. My coach sits me in the office and goes, you know, I can't believe you would betray the team like that. You know what? You're off the team. When that happened, for the first time, I said to myself, what do people do at 3:00? Because I don't know what people do. You see how that's a funny question? I don't know what people do at 3:00. I was like, what do they do at 3:00? This is mad weird. I've had practice since I was in junior high school. And I'm in college now. So I was like, this is weird. I was like, no, I know. I'm going back on the team. I'm going back. Now, keep in mind, my freshman year, I met a brother by the name of Levi. Praise the Most High for that brother. He learned the truth. The Most High orchestrated where I was able to share the information that I knew with him, and he readily received the spirit of the Most High. And he used to crank my style because he was good and he played safety. And as he got injured, he's 1 year older than me. So when he got injured, his mind started leaving the sport. And he would say to me, you don't think like this is wrong? And I was like, brother. I've been in this truth before I knew you. I'm going to be in this truth after this football. Just let me make it to the league. And then I could just, and then he's like, but look at how we have to hurt each other. Like, how is that love for our neighbor? I get, Israelites, you can come with every breakdown in the book. I said to him, listen, they signed up for it. We know this is nothing immoral. We both all signed up for the same hits. He's like, nah, bro, I don't think this is it. Now, at the time, praise the Most High, the woman I'm with now.
Hello? Is he off the call?
Or is he on mute? He on mute.
I'm here. Y'all can hear me?
Now we hear you.
Oh, okay. What was the last thing you heard?
You said the woman that you with now. You mean your
yeah,
wife?
So I've been praising.
Is your face hitting the mute button?
Not at all.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this is one of those elder moments. Like, brother, get the audio right. I hope my audio gets better.
Because I'm going to have to put you back in the queue, brother.
I hope my audio gets better.
Now, go ahead.
I hope my audio gets better. So I'm not doing anything. I promise. So, but okay. So continue what I'm saying. Now, my freshman year, I pretty much finished out my sophomore year. Now, here's where I'm like, you know what? Because of the mistake I made, I have no chance in starting on offense. But my whole life, I played offense and defense. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to hold a coach's meeting and I'm going to switch. The day I go to switch, I felt like my coach spoke to me in a way that I never would support. And knowing the information that you know, we have this like respect amongst us. I was like, I'm not going to have anything disdain towards anybody else, but you can't demean me for no reason. Like, that's a line we don't cross. So then I'm like, you know what? So my mind was like, I'm going to my brother's school. He played quarterback. I play receiver. We're about to go All-American. We're going to set records. I'll catch 15 touchdowns in 10 games. This is the day that changed everything. We finished a game on a Saturday. At this time, 3 people in my school convert into the truth. 3. Everything I was learning from this church, I was telling them. Everything. So I used to tell them, at the time, the channels wasn't, the main channels was the one that's now today. So I was like, if you don't see me around, just on the Sabbath, do this. Go and study here. I come back from a game on Saturday. I was like, all right, so what y'all did for the Shabbat? They're like, we did nothing. We waited for you. That moment hit me hard. Because in my mind, I was like, I'm out of this school. I'm leaving. But they were newly converted. And when they were newly converted, I literally told myself, if I leave, I don't know what's going to happen to these people. Now, I understand in my age now, no man cometh to the Son except the Father draws him near. But being 18 years old and these being people who just learned what I just learned, I'm like, yeah, they need a little bit of like, they need some sort of like help in their walk, in their faith, so they could become stable. And so I literally told myself, am I going to leave this school and go play football with my younger brother? But what would happen with their souls if they don't endure? You know you're going to think about that. Or do you have to leave this sport and stay here and do what you have to do here? I praise the Most High. There's people in our church to this day that's more than that small group of 3. And I give all praises to the Most High for that. Now, I link this to when David, right, had to kill Goliath. And he said, they was like, David, you sure you could do something like that? And he said, when the bears and the sheep was in my father's den, I used to take those bears by the jaw, kill it, and bring the sheep back. Showing what David did in his previous life, the Most High had so much mercy on him that when he put that mentality towards faith, he did great things for the Lord. And so now when I let that sport go, I was able to see, wow. So the Most High had me build something up my whole life to tear it down so I could use it for him. Because in this truth, he shall endure unto the end shall be saved. What is hell week like? The annoying week where your coach has all jurisdiction to violate you and to demean you and to tell you talk to you any kind of way. And if you got a problem, quit the team. Then I would look at the playbooks and I would be like, and you know what it was like. Memorize this playbook. You got about 2 weeks. You don't memorize the playbook? No problem. You just don't play. How much pages is the Bible? And I said, they're like, know a chapter and verse. Now I apply that. And so when I hear and I see it, I start by saying it's not many people that could take the step that you take. You definitely have brothers that relate. You, of course, reach a higher level than us. But I'm glad this story's out. Because I hope this opens the floodgates for other athletes to follow your path. Because there's people I know that's in the league right now that know what you know. Because I personally told them. And they don't have that courage yet. Because like my younger brother said, they haven't learned to stand on faith. Because at a point, I thought I was leaving the game of football. Christ said, whosoever shall forsake anything in this life. And he went to the extreme. He said, mother, father, son, brother, land shall receive 100-fold. And I think you and I would both agree that the Most High gave us what we need and more from leaving the sport. And so I appreciate y'all tarrying and hearing that testimony, but all praise to the Most High, especially for Deacon Hazak and the Spirit of the Most High for linking y'all. Praise the Most High for you, my aunt, Rafael. Deep name in itself, which is like to get this out, to let this story be known so that we can, faith is faith to faith, so that this can increase somebody's faith. To let them know you may not have been a football player, but it may have been that job that's calling you. It may have been that business that's calling you. It may have been something else that you feel is pulling you. But remember what our law says, thou shalt have no other gods before me. We know that God needs power as well. Nothing has more power over us than the Most High. Nothing has more than the Son. Nothing has more power over us than the law.
Praise the Most High, man. Yo, powerful testimony, and you already know, bro. You already know that. I know the journey. We all know the journey, man. So praise the Most High, man.
Powerful testimony, brother. Powerful testimony.
Appreciate you, brothers, man.
All right, Yeshua, I'm gonna put you back in the queue, and I'm gonna let some more people in.
Khan, love y'all, brothers. Peace and blessings.
All right, shalom, shalom. Love you too, bro.
Shalom.
All right, let me see this real quick. All right, so brothers and sisters, let's if you have a question, ask the question. You know, we're gonna pose it where if you have a question, something you're struggling with, so we could you know, try to condense the time, because we run it on time, and I don't want to hold our guest in too late. You know, he got his family, you know, things that he has to do as well too. So I'm gonna bring in the next caller, Hardy family, right? That's the name that I got here. So Hardy family, you know, get your mic ready, and have your question ready as well too. So when you can, have your mic ready.
Hey, my brother.
Hold on. You can unmute.
Hey, Shalom, how y'all doing?
Shalom. I'm trying to figure. Hardy family, who's speaking? It seems like my Ak already know.
Brother Shan Moala from Chicago.
Oh, hey, Shalom. What's going on, bro?
Nothing, brother. I just wanted to chime in. Nothing major. I don't have a testimony or anything other than Sunday I was at a barbecue with some brothers from the church out here, and for some reason, Rafael was on my mind, and we were talking about NFL, and I was like, bro, did you know that we got a brother that was in the NFL in our church? I was like, yeah, man, he was in the NFL. I was like, he's on my Facebook right now. I talk to him from time to time, but you know, it wasn't really about that. It was about how the Most High could take somebody from the NFL, have them in our church, and change their whole life. And then I see the notification that you're about to do an interview with him. So, you know, just the spirit was like, man, I don't know. It was beautiful when I seen the notification that you was doing this interview.
That's crazy.
And you know, I see the brother all the time on Facebook. He always coming with the scriptures. He's always boxing, you know, inspiring. Still to this day, outside of the sport in itself. And the only other point that I could hit on is like, when I was in the world, there was a void. I was always seeking the next thing. And it was always carnal. And the only thing that fills that void is the Most High, is this work, is Christ, is the Holy Spirit, is the brethren, is bringing more to the fold. We got two purposes. We know that it's keep the Most High's commands, that is to bring Jacob back to the Most High, you know, and get the kingdom. So it's just a blessing and an honor to see your testimony. I have to go back. I got in late, stopped at my mother's, but that's neither here nor there. But, you know, I'm just grateful to have examples out there that, you know, it can be done. And I praise the Most High for that. I don't know if you remember, Rafael, but one of my second Passovers, my family was right next to yours.
Yeah.
You and your family at the Passover.
Yeah, right
in
beside me.
Pittsburgh.
I remember.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm just grateful for the work. I'm grateful that the work is continuing, and you know, this church it's the church. It's one of the 7 churches that the Most High is gonna come back for. And I fully believe that I was brought to the church to be refined, to be reproved, to be able to enter into the kingdom of heaven. And, you know, if I can leave anybody with that, it's stick with the body. Get with the body. Get in the body. Be a part. And, you know, get the help that you need. And eventually, we're going to see Zion. And with that, I yield. I love y'all, brothers.
Khan. Love you too,
My brother.
Yeah. Always a pleasure.
Bless you and the family, man.
Absolutely. You too. We'll be talking, brother.
Khan.
Absolutely. Shalom, brother.
All right. Shalom, Mark. Definitely, man. Praise the Most High. And that's what that it also goes to show that the way the Most High works. The Most High could bring anybody into this truth. It don't matter who you are. It don't matter rich, poor, famous. You understand what I'm saying? The Most High, if he needs you, he's gonna get you, right? So, and our brother is definitely a testament of that, right? Real quick, I did say 1 second. I did say you could we was gonna talk about that experience that we had at Passover 2021 at Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Hold on real quick. Let me fix this real quick. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me fix this real quick. Okay. Here it goes. All right. Now I can bring it back. All right. Yeah. So, and that was that your first Passover?
No, that was my second, because I think the first one COVID hit, and so we didn't have a Passover, and then the following one I think it was outside.
Yeah, in the tent. Yeah, under the tent.
Under the tent. That was my first one, and then the second one.
Oh, so you was there for that one?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. That to me, I feel like even though it was not in a big what you call it convention center, as some people might say, I feel like that Passover was really nice and very intimate.
It was. I enjoy all of them, man.
I do too. Listen, we got no choice. I enjoy all of them, but I know for that one it was special, right under the tent. You know, it was great. But for at Pittsburgh, how we all came together. That's when I actually officially met you. You, Tazadak, Shadaiwar. That's when we did his interview. We did an interview with Shadaiwar as well too. And and we had all so much brothers come together in one room, and we was able. And to me, it blew me away to see how much men was there, how much young men was there, and we was just all sitting down, breaking bread in the scriptures, expounding on the word, and we had this prayer at the end, man. Like I don't know for you, but for me, it was something that we can't duplicate, man.
That was definitely in the spirit, man. Just to hear everyone, when we all have one body and one mind, and we all speaking the same thing. Although, physically that was a lot of our first times actually crossing paths and meeting, but it was almost like you knew this person for your whole life.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing to be in a room with a bunch of brothers that have the same goal in mind as you.
Right.
And, that, like you said, that's something that Most High willing, man, we get another opportunity, if it be the Most High wills, to have one of those at another Passover where we just breaking bread, fellowshipping, and just letting the spirit move, man. But it was definitely powerful to see all the brothers from different congregations in one house, one room.
Right.
Just, man, it was amazing.
It definitely was amazing, and I do believe that be the Most High setting up friendships, setting up these unbreakable bonds between us, because I would have never met you if it wasn't for that Passover, or you know what I'm saying, or vice versa, or all of the men that was there, all of the brothers that was there. And the Most High, he makes it convenient that we all gonna be at one place at one time because we all keeping the Passover, and he allows us to all meet and to fellowship and to create these alliances, man. Because listen, we could literally see the Most High gathering the elect to the elect, and he's bringing us together, and he's just making this one well-run oiled machine. So I give the Most High praise for that, because who would have known? You know what I'm saying? I'd be sitting here talking to you. You know what I'm saying, and vice versa, right? Who knows what the Most High got in store next? But brothers and sisters, ain't nothing impossible for the Most High. What the scripture says, it says, for men things could be impossible, but for the Most High, nothing is impossible. Nothing. Yeah. So any final words you want to leave behind for the people? Because listen, I'm more than pleased with this broadcast. I'm pretty sure that you said a lot of eye-opening things, and your testimony alone is going to be a boost of faith for someone out there who have to make that tough choice. Am I going to continue chasing this world, or am I going to serve the right and true living God? So any last words, anything that you want to leave with the people? Because this ain't going to be the last time, you're going to be on.
All praises. Well, I would say this, man. First of all praises be to the Most High, man. I really appreciate you reaching out, having me on the show. Definitely, it was an honor, man. And I pray that this was well received. I pray that this plant seeds. We know the Most High gets the increase. And anyone out there that's chasing something, whether that's a job, whether that's a profession, or even a skill in this world, just ponder on that. Like the scripture says, let counsel go before every enterprise. Really seek counsel from the Holy Spirit, because it's very subtle. And it's very subtle, because you may think you're doing something. You may think that you're doing something for the Most High, but you're actually serving Satan. And that's what I had to find out, that I was serving Mammon. I was serving football. It was my God. I was breaking so many commandments, like I said. But, for those of you that, are new to this thing or trying to figure out, do I serve the Most High, or do I go back into the world? What's my gift? What do I do? There's so much work to be done, brothers and sisters, right? There's so much work to be done. We all got gifts. You know, we all received that Holy Spirit from baptism, right? Christ gave many gifts unto men, and we all have them. Teaching, prophesying, exhortation, ruling, helping. All of these are gifts that Christ gave us. And if we all use them together as one mind and one body, we can get this kingdom. So I encourage everybody out there to just continue to stand on faith, 10 toes down, and the Most High will not allow you to be ashamed if you do so. Just keep your trust in him.
Con. I know I got 2 more people in the queue. You want to take them?
Yeah, Con, we can. No problem.
Right. But before we do that, I wanna share this. I had shared this with the congregation last Shabbat because it's funny that we having this conversation because the lesson spoken about last week was the gift of the gospel, right, or the wealth of the gospel, right, and showing that the Most High is sending a lot of people into the church with so much gifts and talents, right? The elders, they baptized close to 200 souls back in September. And those 200 souls were actually people with gifts and talents, all individual people that the Most High sent in. All those 200 people, they have gifts and talents that the world probably overlooked. But the Most High is like, you know what? I could use that. I could use you. I could use you. Same thing that he did with you. Same thing he did with me, right? And I want to share this post that it's such a beautiful post, but I'm gonna read it. It's a post that I seen on Instagram, right? So in the post, I'm gonna just read it real quick before we go to the next 2 calls, right? It says, before he died, a father said to his son, "Here is a watch that your grandfather gave me. It is almost 200 years old. Before I give it to you, take it to the jewelry store and try to sell it. See how much they offer." The son went to the jewelry store, came back to his father and said, "They offered me $150 because they said it was too old." The father said, "Okay, now go to the pawn shop." The son went to the pawn shop, came back to his father and said, "The pawn shop offered $10 because it looked too worn out." The father said, "Okay, go to the museum and show them the watch." The boy went to the museum, came back and said to his father, "The curator offered $500,000 for this very rare piece to be included in their precious antique collection." Then the father said, "I wanted to let you know that the right place values you in the right way. Don't find yourself in the wrong place and get angry if you are not valued." Right? Those that know your value are those who appreciate you. Don't stay in a place where nobody sees your value. And I seen this post and I related it to how the Most High views us. Here it is, the world, Babylon, or wherever you are in the 4 corners of the earth is just sucking you dry. These employers, these leagues, these entertainers, everybody just want to take from you. They see the talent that the Most High put in you, but they just want to use you. But it's like we always get the short end of the stick. It's like we're not really getting the value of what our talent is really worth. But the Most High is calling us out of the world. It's like, you know what? The world use you, but look, this is what I'm going to use you for. But I'm not going to use you and then dash you away when you can't perform no more. Don't worry, I'm going to make sure you're always good. But just come to me. That's all I need you to do. Just come to me. And I wanted to share that with the family just to show everybody, like, look, don't let this world use you dry. Right? Our God wants you for you. All right? Just keep that in mind. And that post was just a beautiful post. I just wanted to share that. All right? So let me go back to Let me see. Let me do this properly now. Let me go back to the Zoom, and we're gonna bring in one caller. Let me see who it is. Okay. All right, we got a sister here, Sister Harute. I'll bring her in first. So, Sister Harute, have your question ready for our brother. All right. So, you can unmute yourself. You just unmute your audio. Shalom, shalom. You need your audio. All right, going once, going twice. All right, I'll have to come back to you. You don't have no audio. All right, I'll come back to you. 1 second. All right, so now I got our Sister Danita. Shalom, sis. You gotta unmute yourself. You can unmute your mic. Yeah.
This is Sister Danita.
Shalom. Hold on. Let me fix this up real quick. My sister.
Shalom, Deacon Hazard.
From the DMV.
And Shalom, brother Rafael.
Barak Ya'Allah. That's also his Hebrew name.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names, but I never forget a face. So, quick question. He Deacon Hazak really made me smile when he shared that with us just now to let us know that the Most High value us, and we can't come to him empty-handed or dry. We got to give him our all and give him our best. So I just wanted to say that. And the question I had was, you mentioned Passover in Pittsburgh was the most beautiful moment, and I was thankful that me and Zach made it there. I just wanted to ask, and it's been on my mind the whole broadcast because I don't forget faces at all. Was you and your wife wearing green and gold for that Passover?
I think that was no, but I remember. Did he have a crown on his head?
Yes.
That was my brother. We in the same congregation.
Oh, praises to the Most High. Because, me and Zach shook your brother's hand and we greeted everybody at the table. And I said, babe, that's what royalty looks like. When we come all in right. And I was smiling because I never seen so many brothers and sisters showing love, showing support, showing joy. Like, that was our first Passover. We met the elders for the first time. We met everybody for the first time. And I said, babe, we home. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. And y'all really made my day for the day. So y'all have a blessed night and a blessed week. I didn't want to hold you. So that was it.
Praise the Most High. I appreciate you, sister. Always great hearing you.
Yeah, that was my brother Yamashah and his wife, Sister Leslie, who's actually in the North Carolina congregation. So when you said green and gold and a crown, I knew exactly what you was talking about.
Yeah. I mean, everybody looked beautiful. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm not gonna hold you, but when we saw everybody, and the crazy thing too, I wanted to say about that Passover, so many people in that city, we blessed that city so much that everybody was coming up to us and they were saying, "Are y'all the Israelites?" It's like they waiting on us, y'all. Right. And all praises the Most High. Like, he woke us up all in one, just for us to come together and for the world. And you see, they didn't televise that.
No, of course not.
Because that was glory.
They can't. They gotta show the negative image of us.
Oh man,
that's what they gotta do. They gotta show that we savages. That
Oh my gosh,
we're a cult, we're a hate group. That's what they gotta do. But listen, the Most High gonna flip the script before they know it.
We blessed everybody because I had people on the street saying they wanted to come in and sit with our church, and they weren't even in the truth. They weren't in no. I mean, it was people that were atheists walking up to us and saying, "What church is this? This is beautiful."
Wow.
So all praise to the Most High.
All praise.
Just want to say I'm thankful for the work everybody's putting in. Thankful for you, Deke, and I love you, brothers. Shalom.
Shalom, sis. Much love to you and your husband.
All praises.
All praises, man. Listen, man, and this is what it's about, man. It's definitely about the Most High. Definitely. Oh, what's going on? Okay, it's definitely about the Most High showing us that listen, the world may have treated you jacked up, but I got a space for you right here, and you could attest to that. That's what you actually said that when you first visited the body. You was like, oh nah, this is home. I love this, and it's just it's like you were saying, man. If anybody who's watching, it always blows me away when I hear people say, how long you been watching? How long you've been following the church? 10 years. You staying online, brothers and sisters. Do yourself a favor. Try to find a congregation. It's you think it's good online. Wait till you come into the building. It's night and day, right? And the friendships that you build, right? And you see, like this conversation would not have been possible if I stayed online, if he stayed online. You know what I'm saying? We had to actually physically come in to make these these friendships, to make these bonds, to build this brotherhood that you guys see before you. So, brothers and sisters, do yourself a favor, man. Link in while the doors are still open. Link in, because this YouTube thing, we don't know how long these platforms is going to be here for. So, but we know that if we link in with each other, we could endure this thing together. All right. But yeah, man. I guess that's it for tonight, right? But praise the Most High. I really appreciate you for coming on, though, Ak, for real.
Man, the pleasure was all mine, man. I appreciate you for having me, man. I really do. All praise be to the Most High. Hopefully this reached a lot of ears and was planted on fertile ground that it may bear fruit. So,
yes.
God be all praise.
Yeah, man. There's people out there who really need to hear these type of testimonies, like. So a lot of people really think that we don't have no education, or this is just some we just some rebels somewhere. But the Most High is really changing lives with real people, and your testimony, everybody's testimony is worth speaking about, to give somebody that ounce of courage to be like, you know what, I want to stand for the Most High. Right. And who knows, through your testimony, it could spark something in someone who we've never imagined. You understand what I'm saying? So this is how we got to look at these things. The Most High gives us these experiences, these testimonies, to share it, so that way it could prick someone else's spirit, prick someone else's understanding, and have them stand boldly for Christ as well too. Yeah, man. So, my brother, I'm not gonna hold you, and I'm not gonna hold y'all any longer either. But this is a great show, man. A great show. We gonna be in contact. You already know how we do. Right. And I know you about to get into the physical training side of things. If you want to put that information out there to or we could hold off on that. It's up to you.
Yeah, right now we still in the beginning phases. I got my LLC. My business name is Kingdom Fitness Performance. Right now, if you check out my Instagram, you might see a couple of Rafael _ Bush31. You might see a couple of workouts just to motivate people. Scripture tells us to glorify the Most High in our body and in our spirit. So we got to make sure that we're in some type of physical shape to be able to do the work for the Most High. So we have that in the works, and I'm still trying to work on getting my understanding and nutrition as well. So we have that in the works as well. So just stay tuned, and when the time is right, on the Most High's time, and it will be presented.
Con, all praises. And like he said, you can find him on Instagram right now. Is at Rafael_Bush. Right? So definitely link in with my Ak, and let's continue, man. Let's continue. Let's do this path, man, together. I'm excited, bro.
Man, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
I really do.
All right, Doc. So, Shalom, I'll hit you up a little bit. I'll hit you up probably a little later or probably tomorrow.
Okay, my brother.
All right, my brother. Rafael Bush, Barak Ya Allah.
Shalom.
Shalom. Oh man, praise the Most High. Praise the Most High for such a beautiful broadcast, a beautiful testimony. And like I said, man, I really do pray that the Most High allows this message to fall on the right person's lap that needs to hear this, man. Jew and Gentile alike, man, because we all are faced with that same decision. Are we going to pursue our own happiness or pursue the Most High? Right? Matter of fact, on that, I'm gonna read this scripture. Right? And then it's gonna be Godspeed for everybody here. And thank you all for coming in. For tuning in, sharing this with your friends and family, and hitting that like button. I appreciate y'all. Y'all the best. Right? 1 second. So let me read this. Where's my mouse? All right. Let me go here real quick. Use this tool that I was using before. Let me put up this scripture. And after I read this scripture, then is Godspeed. Okay. All right. So I'm at Matthew chapter 8. And I'm going to start at what verse I'm going to start at? No, not even 8. Excuse me. Go to 16. Okay, here we go. All right. I'm going to start at verse 26. Right? So it reads Matthew 16 and 25, and it reads, "For whosoever will save his life shall lose it." And now that sounds, I know that kind of sounds crazy. Like, what do you mean if I try to save my life, I'm going to lose it? You know the life that Christ was talking about? The life that was given to you based upon this world's standards. Right? Fame, fortune, right? Your influence, your money. That's the life that that Christ was speaking about if you was trying to save it. Because why? At the end of the day, when you die, you can't take these things with you. So this is why he says, "For whosoever will save his life shall lose it." And we understand that he's talking about riches and wealth because, when you read up, he was speaking to a rich young man. And he told that rich young man, if you want to be perfect, sell everything you have, distribute it to the poor, and come follow me. And he couldn't do it because he had so much gain. Right? So this is why he says, "For whosoever shall save his life shall lose it. And whoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it." And praise the Most High for this, for our brother's testimony, who didn't care about the fame, the fortune, the glory. He was like, you know what? I'm giving up all of this to follow Christ. And I could say firmly and boldly that our brother found his life. Right? And next scripture, verse 26. For what is a man's profit? Right? What is your profit? Is it what the world has given you? Is your bank account you? Is that your profit? Is your followers or how popular you are, is that what makes you? For what is a man profit if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? And that's the question that a lot of us don't even ask ourselves. We don't even care to ask or to think, will I lose my soul in the process of what I'm chasing? And the answer is yes. For what is a man profit if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? That's the question. That's what I want to leave everybody with today or tonight. What is your profit? What do you think you're gaining in exchange for your soul that is priceless? There's no value on this earth that could match up to your soul. Because it don't, and at the end of the day, your very soul don't even belong to you. It belongs to the Father. It belongs to the God who created you. And he finds the value. He has the value in your soul. Not this world. Not the accolades, not the fame, not the fortune. They don't care about you. Like, and we heard it from our brother's testimony when he was sitting down in the office talking to the GM, the general manager of that particular team. He was this interested of what he had to say. He was like, all right, yeah, I hear you. But what can you do for me? All right, I hear what you're saying, but what are you doing for my team? What are you doing for this label? That's what they care about. So at the end of the day, is it worth it? Is it worth it to sacrifice your blood, sweat, and tears in a world that's dying? Is it worth it sacrificing your being for fame, for fortune, for millions of dollars, for fame, for all of these things that the world die for? Is it worth it? Because this world is passing away. We could see it every day. We're seeing this world pass away. So now you have to make that choice, brothers and sisters. Stand for something or fall for anything. And that something is the Most High. And with that being said, that is tonight's show. I appreciate you, brothers and sisters. Like we do it every night, gotta do it again this night.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're now tuned into the Born of Levi experience.
Yes, you are now tuned in. But now, like I said, like all good things, this show must also come to an end. So shalom, peace and blessings. Thank you, God. Thank you guys for all rocking out with us, right? And we want to end it by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Ahaya, in the name of His Son Yeshua Mashiach, our Lord, our Savior, and our King. And that is our show, brothers and sisters. Until next week, until next time, I'll see y'all. Enjoy the Shabbat. Have a beautiful Shabbat. Make sure you guys rest up, stay prayed up, and sin not until we see Yeshua crack that sky. Right? So praise the Most High. Shalom. Good night. Love y'all. Peace and blessings.